After the president's speech, a pink poodle named Molly jumped into the Passaic River. She was rescued by emergency workers who had not yet been cut.
Tell me what I should buy. What should I buy? Tell him what to buy. I can't hear you. Candy, what kind of candy? Chocolate, Godiva, M&Ms, Snickers? Snickers. I need one more thing to buy. A watch. Show me watches. More watches. Beautiful watches.
Something I've not bought is following me. I see it in my Facebook feed, peeking out from the top of my email stream. The stream they promised they'd never sell. Owned by a company I don't know well. Something I've not bought is following me, seeing as I've not bought it again and again. I see the tracks of its ads, like tears running down my screens. In the morning, it's there on my phone before breakfast. It seems to pop out of the void in a banner over my browser. I shrug off its warnings, tapping a gray tab that says close. In the evening, before bed, it knows I've spent a whole day not buying it again and again. Not being a person, it doesn't take it personally. But if I ever click on it, I'll never be rid of it. It will inhabit the very soul of my machine, demanding ransom unless I pay or exercise it through a search and destroy mission in my applications file. If I shrug it off, I know it will be okay. A stranger waving at me from an ocean liner. I pretend not to see. What is a corporation? What does it do? To whom is it responsible? Does it care about you? Is it buildings, companies, documents, waste? Is it a subject, object, aggregate, a function, a movement, a place? Is it an agent we create to explain what we do? Is it shorthand for a process that does things to you? Does it generate wealth? Is it good for your health? It is dark behind the bank, but in front, the ATMs sparkle all night. When you step inside, you breathe money. Then, when you walk back out, you can feel money make money in its sleep. Of course, money never sleeps. Its wire highway ships numerals, day and night. But we are human. It is money. For us to communicate, we need to pretend we speak the same language. Money is nice. It is compassionate. It knows it is smarter than us. But it doesn't want to hurt our feelings. It says, hello, when we feed our card into its mouth. It says, thank you, and goodbye, when we are done with our business. It knows it is never done with us, or we it. In the back of the bank, the street is dark. On some nights, you think you hear money sleepwalking. This is your way of saying hi to yourself. Money knows this. Money works hard to hold up a mirror. I don't know if I still have the bandwidth to think outside of the box. Sure, I'm good at identifying the low-hanging fruit. But innovation, disruptive technologies, that stuff may be for the millennials to decide. Good luck to them. As for me, well, there comes a time in all our lives when you just gotta drink the Kool-Aid and get with the program. Okay, sure, you're no longer got the mojo to break down any silos. But at least your morale is no longer in the toilet. I'm still entrepreneurial and proactive. I'm collaborative, competitively priced, and non-reactive. You could summarize public opinion as, I'm doing okay. People I know or see around me are doing okay. But I hear that really bad things are happening somewhere out there.
The price of gas is a noisy lawnmower on an angry suburban lawn.
Gas prices have gone up about 50% in the past 4 years.
The price of gas is a noose you wear around your neck so you can dance to the Star-Spangled Banner rather than yield to those who kneel.
If you are spending 25 to 30% of your income on food and prices have jumped 25%, you are in real pain.
The price of gas is an altar on which populist Agamemnons sacrifice their children with righteous moral glee.
The Consumer Price Index has risen about 25%.
The price of gas is a Trojan horse carrying voters' social resentments that rides into the voting booth in triumph.
Inflation, as a once-in-a-generation spike in costs, leaves a toxic legacy for incumbent politicians.
The price of gas is the fault of cancel culture. Also to blame are critical theorists and bureaucratic pedophiles who sacrifice babies in the basement of pizza parlors.
Americans who earn less than $35,000 a year have reported difficulty paying everyday expenses.
The price of gas is controlled by UFOs from Area 51 with full knowledge of the Pentagon.
Large corporations with market power have used supply problems as an opportunity to increase prices and scoop windfall profits.
The price of gas is one of the early signs of the apocalypse.
What we need instead is a serious conversation about price controls.
The price of gas is controlled by Satan.
It might be true that over the long run, rashes of inflation and deflation burn themselves out.
The price of gas is worth more rancor than a wannabe democracy.
But in the long run, Keynes observed, we are all dead. I'm here to give you some intel on a robust new app. But first, I'd like you to reach out to your team and to assure them that this doesn't mean they'll be downsized or that adapting this is part of a general corporate restructuring. They should be excited by the new functionality this product will offer and the chance it gives them to upgrade their skills. This program is fast becoming a key component of industry best practices, speeding the whole decisioning process. Hey people, I'd say, it is what it is. So here's my ask. Give it a chance to streamline your daily tasks. How much is it worth? The actual copy of Poems by Pierre Reverdy, Frank O'Hara had in his pocket when he wrote, "My heart is in my pocket." It is Poems by Pierre Reverdy. Probably not as much as Duchamp's chess set or urinal. That's because O'Hara was not a painter, but a poet. And you know what that means. While the other arts add value to their objects, conspiring with the world of commodities to nurture the enrichment economy, verse makes its objects worse, relieving them of their worth, casting them out into the world beyond the cave of money-making, into another place that we do not yet understand and cannot name. How much is it worth? The actual heart of Frank O'Hara, the one stripped of its metaphors. Can his heart actually be divested of such accoutrements? Or must we be forever lost in the moist mist on the brink of the heart itself, an irretrievable object? When Shelley was cremated, his heart refused to burn. Mary Shelley carried it with her for years, wrapped in a silk shroud inside a jar. When revered Tibetan teachers, Buddhist teachers die, their hearts become relics and are said to bestow blessings, the greatest of which is the knowledge of emptiness.
Words are birds. I is sky. I write the word. I am behind it. You read the word. You are before it. We make a oneness a reflection. Two separate moments come together. But the word is still between us. Someday there'll be no words. Someday we'll simply be like flutes playing each other. Strike a match. Light up this page. Watch them go black and vanish into flame. I think that I'm a candle whose flame stays round the wick, whether set in one place or carried, never wavering an inch from where I've always been. I hold out my hand like you did. When I'm happy and look at it, it's not the same I see sadly, desiring, or when I'm tired. It changes with my feelings, which usually I don't notice, like light and shadow pass over the day, revealing as the morning sun, obscured by clouds or tears. When you vanished, did all vanish? With a change of heart, I changed the world. I was in Philadelphia and crossed the bridge to Camden. I'm satisfied, I said. There's grass growing here, and I no longer care what anyone might think of me or what the future holds or when and if comes money. I heard you speak. You are not dead. Nor have I lived more than I lived when you first spoke. I kneel down in the grass, slide out some blades to chew. I've read you, know your caress, and see out in the void your hand still is, trembling for my touch. Walt Whitman, you're the spit, green along my lips. Help me to trust in it. A noiseless, patient spider, I marked where on a little promontory it stood, isolated. Marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, oh my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere. Oh, my soul.
A child said, "What is the grass?" fetching it to me with full hands. How could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than she. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer, designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners, that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or, I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. And now it seems to me the beautiful, uncut hair of graves. There was a child went forth every day, and the first object he looked upon, that object he became. And that object became part of him for the day, or a certain part of the day, or for many years, or stretching cycles of years. The early lilacs became part of this child, and grass, and white and red morning glories, and white and red clover, and the song of the phoebe bird, all became part of him. His own parents, he that had fathered him, and she that had conceived him in her womb and birthed him, They gave this child more of themselves than that. They gave him afterward every day. They became part of him. The mother at home, quietly placing the dishes on the supper table. The mother, with mild words, clean her cap and gown, a wholesome odor falling off her person and the clothes as she walks by. The father, strong, self-sufficient, manly, mean, angered, unjust. The blow, the quick loud word, the tight bargain, the crafty lure, the family usages, the language, the company, the furniture, the yearning and swelling heart. Affection that will not be gainsaid, the sense of what is real, the thought of it, after all, it should prove unreal, the doubts of daytime and the doubts of nighttime, the curious whether and how, whether that which appears so is so, or is it all flashes and specks? Give me the splendid silent sun with all its beams full dazzling. Give me juicy autumnal fruit, ripe and red from the orchard. Give me a field where the unmowed grass grows. Give me an arbor. Give me the trellised grape. Give me fresh corn and wheat. Give me serene moving animals teaching content. Give me nights perfectly quiet, as on high plateaus west of the Mississippi and looking up at the stars. Give me odorous at sunrise, a garden of beautiful flowers where I can walk undisturbed. Give me for marriage a sweet-breathed woman of whom I should never tire. Give me a perfect child. Give me a way aside from the noise of the world, a rural domestic life. Give me to warble spontaneous songs, relieved, reclused by myself, for my own ears only. Give me solitude. Give me nature. Give me again, O nature, your primal sanities. These, demanding to have them, tired with ceaseless excitement and racked by war strife, to these to procure incessantly, asking me, rising in cries from my heart, while yet incessantly asking, still I adhere to my city. Keep your splendid silent sun. Keep your woods, O nature, and the quiet places by the woods. Keep your fields in clover and timothy, your cornfields and orchards. Keep the blossoming buckwheat fields where the ninth-month bees hum. Give me faces in streets. Give me these phantoms incessant, endless, along the trottoirs. Give me interminable eyes. Give me women. Give me comrades and lovers by the thousand. Let me see new ones every day. Let me hold new ones by the hand every day. Give me such shows. Give me the streets of Manhattan. Give me Broadway and the soldiers marching. Give me the sound of the trumpets and drums. Give me the shores and wharves heavily fringed with the black ships. Oh, such for me, oh, an intense life, oh, full to repletion and varied. The life of the theater, barroom, huge hotel for me. The saloon of the steamer, the crowded excursion for me, the torchlight procession. The dense brigade bound for war with high-piled military wagons following. People endless streaming with strong voices, passions, pageants. Manhattan streets with their powerful throbs of the beating drums is now. The endless and noisy chorus, the rustle and clank of muskets. Even the sight of the wounded, Manhattan crowds with their turbulent musical chorus, with varied chorus and the light of the sparkling eyes. Manhattan faces and eyes, forever for me. Facing west from California's shores, inquiring, tireless, seeking what is yet unfound, I, a child, very old, over waves, towards the house of maternity and the land of migrations, look afar. Look off the shores of my western sea, the circle almost circled. For starting westward from Hindustan, from the vales of Kashmir, from Asia, from the north, from the god, the sage, and the hero, from the south, from the flowery peninsulas and spice islands, long having wandered since, round the earth having wandered, now I face home again, very pleased and joyous. But where is what I started for so long ago, and why is it yet unfound?
He was so fucked up, he stumbled and fell down. Then someone helped him to the microphone. He didn't sing, he spoke, rhymed, indiscriminate. He didn't care what I thought. The same beat he repeat like waves of sea, make us cease the struggle, giving up our bubbles flow in the push, pull, toss, and tumble of its surf. Mindless, forgotten as the just begotten, I'm the rhythm of him. In the South Mountain, along a road that goes from an ocean to a great lake, not far from my parents' home, I walked up to a water snake whose lower end a car had crushed, revealing in blood its smooth intestines, where a cluster of flies flew up and remained, filling themselves. It hissed, a delicate, transparent blood, flayed and reached out, trying to leave itself still, now moving. Tip of its nose along the road, mouth so silent, open, I thought it was dead, till it twisted, closed, unclosing. Constant agitation without rest. I thought you are a poem, and crushed its head with a warm, flat stone.
Then, a bucket of flowers, garlands of blood. I see a Tijuana donkey leans, arching toward the center of the room, where all eyes now gravitate as it fills a straddled woman's throat on its hind.
Like the last bit of juice you suck from an orange, you hold and squeeze between your palms. As underground pressures below and above one day will push sand and fossils of us into stone, where our carbon in one eon will make a diamond out of pressure and with time, as poems are made in the mind, where thoughts touched by flesh within centuries of a second are pressed, crystal sparkles, flashes of light that is the light, but another's light, who's caught the light, sending it right into our eyes where it always was, we realize, zapped, understood, with sudden sight like lightning at night, when it cracks through the black, like a crack spreads through glass as you see a river spreading its tributaries, searching centuries across land for sea. Shooting roots down the dark, in the growing of one summer's month, invading, passing through with touch, to circumvent or clutch as fingers on a frog's back will make it jump, and the heart goes thump, and heart crane leaps into the deep to meet, just meet, shark's teeth. It hurts, that first initial thrust, making for us like a thunderhead above us, coming at us, shooting bolts of overload.
Shooting bolts of overload. Shake butter from the cream. Get hard and freeze to crack a wall. No, you happen very slow until you do, like earthquakes come, and then it's now. Crack! Like slivers from a cloud, spread mold upon the bread and dead. Moss upon the stone. Tumors in our brains and on our bones appear like fireworks unfold. Go boom, flash, and thunder. Oh, loud sound! Descend in approach of storm. You thunderbolts, send yourselves. The wind that lifts the limbs of trees, the leaves, the grass, the dust, and all of nature giving itself up. Preparation for the rain.
In preparation for the rain, no tree fights the wind, but sways and bends the best it can. Soon, thirst will end, but first, put your ear close to the earth and hear the crickets and cicadas chirr. So very near they sear our souls and churring whir in higher pitches as the rain begins to fall in folds of wind upon them. A crack of lightning opens the night with light like day, but quickly out, where all is seen so clearly but only for a moment. Eyes opening and shutting, the snapping of a camera's shutter. Where what I saw was real, no dream I seemed to dream in darkness once again. Vision Caught on glossy photos, I can bend, burn, see yellow, holding your face in youth as I wither, growing wiser, older, and so on. What am I now forgetting? Oh, premonitions of eternity.
The storm raged on, and though with pleading eyes we did ask nicely, the storm raged on. I avoid tempting fate, but what living is that? I seduce the fates and point my finger, you made me in this image. So far from godliness these days, unclean, impure, purging now, stripping myself of me, peeling you off my back, stepping out of my skin. I found myself caught and netted, needing to release the snare and see myself free once more. I found myself forgetting I am kindred to the bird who flies free and settles only in the wind so it may soar farther and higher still. Or the small butterfly hairpin and the promise it holds of breathing softly, a feeling breeze, soft winds from here on. I've been carrying too much grief. I've been carrying so much, my shoulder's been aching. My knees been crumbling beneath me, giving away. My once resilient heart in duress, right side enlarged. I wonder, is it like the right side of the brain? Which side of the heart does which thing? Responsibility feels taboo. I need rest. I need rest. I need restoration. I need descent into sensory deprivation, pick apart which thing I can put away. Finally, the flutters bring on flutters, and even when the mind forgets, the chest pangs and pains. On the left, cardiologist, right. I'm facing left as right tries to wipe me away. Crows send their warnings and I heed. But what do I need? I crave peace. I crave community that needs me. I crave building that feeds me, that allows me to feed too. I crave a full cup, but instead we overflow. And as it circulates, there's blood and more to pay. I think I worked her too hard, heavy heart. Heavy crown and its weight bringing me closer to less, and I hope the less is in stress, and less irregular palpitation, and less urinate. I crave satisfaction for once. I crave contentment. I crave release of contempt. I crave forgiveness for me. I have it for free. I gave it for free. I learned how to fight, and the scar gives away mark. I hope the less comes in peace and puts me back in one piece. Please. I had a dream. I'd started banking. I heard it pays to live that life. I wore my suit, I signed my name, swallowed fear and pride, and strutted right along in my new life. It felt all right. I had a dream we built our families. I had a dream we drove no cars. I had a dream we brought forever with us and were regulars at a bar. I had a dream we went to Paris and left it, heading south. I taught you wine, you wrote a song about the watercolor way the sun would rise and look inside the baby's eyes, and on with banking in my life. A hair too long, the dream went on, and I stopped listening halfway through, but I clutched and I clung onto that mic. I wanted to dream the whole night, too. I had a dream I played the right way. I had a dream I had a shot. And I held the hand and said, "Don't let me disappear." And it did not. I had a dream we all remembered what it's like to do what's right. I had a dream we all knew what to do when facing fight or flight. I had a dream that I'd stopped banking. Forget the gift of Friday's muse. I'd lost desire for 40,000 steps. It'd gotten late, and going home became the way to get awake. Thought, maybe time to call the game. Another try going in the books, nor more to cry either. I'd be going home. Better than letting dreams get lost in cynic scissors. Better than to disappear, alone and unforgiven. See, waking up is never planned. We fall asleep before we land. No lovely lie to tuck the sheets under our legs for, wondering where and how and which we would prefer. The raging Piscean dream or the pains of clarity. I'd claw my way out of both and click my heels right back to me. The dream was done. I'd give up banking. There was so much more of life to live. I didn't even know how to swim. I didn't even know how to protect our atmospheric skin. I didn't even know how to convince you all about the right to sin and live. Imagining the madness of it all, I'd given up. What's in a dream anyway? I was just glad to give up banking. What would I do to save us? Let's think about it. I've been keeping these words in a hidden place not well disguised, in a lock not well secured, in a checkered book with lines I wouldn't buy, penning of surrender, of pining, and finding something lost, which I'd forgotten all about. I think the plague here, what keeps me up at night, besides the light and laughter, is the fear again. Remembering what that's like now, the lust lulls me to sleep. I know that guilt is a heavy cross, and it makes the journey more painful, and you make it to the hill with blisters in your feet, but that's just the cross you bear. The cross made you forget your shoes, and you stepped on nails and stones that cut, and it was heavy, and you took no help, so it hit the back of your leg when you walk and left you splinters. And without it, I got to the hill in no time. And with all that time, without you, I saw how far I would go if I left you to make your own choices. You just had to put it down and be real. November might live in virtue, that we felt joy and love and hope in the time of algorithms and war and love lost and love abounding. We might be here forever or gone in a few months' time. While the world around crumbles under weight of uncertainty, we thrive somehow, finding pockets of time and warmth in palms traced by frozen fingers that slowly follow lines up to pulsing wrists. In peace, finally, for a moment, warm on a cold rug, talking ghosts that haunt our hearts, which beat loudly in reminder, so we can hear the other's feeling, however fleeting maybe. Maybe this is what it's like to give meaning and begin again, to try and change the course of a life, unflinching now to fragmented designs and broken dreams and wicked minds.
Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and red, gold, and green. The engineers on the scene. SCENE. Keep cool, quarantine. This is a special edition audio magazine. Swing like the hammer of the Maccabees. Look at Constantine, sharpening his guillotine. What does it mean? No worries, your head is still attached. Gloom is doom. In the blink of an eye, you can carry a tune. or the weight of the tomb. I meditate, breathe deeply, and wait to pass through the womb. Born again, like a Christian's baptism. In 2020, I got perfect sight. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
Word sound engineer, automating the mixing boards in your ear. I condense all things in the heaviness of the Celsius. With the apocalypse of Mother Nature, my lips soon kiss. The pyrotechnics of the bass response is the temperature, shifting the tectonic plates of my moods. Sonification, like a volcanologist through monitors. The tubes is hot, saturated in the blood of my enemies. When it begins to boil, I increase the Fahrenheit. Violence be still. In the presence of my eruption, anoint the production. Every man with a tongue within the recording vicinity. Evacuate your alias and stick to your government identity. You're neither hot or cold. You have no climate to rhyme with. God is the spirit, vibrating in the ears of my studio. I catch the Holy Spirit, you catch the nearest ghostwriter. My stereo image is the power of words, the sound of thought in motion. With the simplest of things, man, it's most complex, like a single channel. I'm gain-driven audio, too blessed to be a frequency swept off the noise floor. Confined to a rectangle, or in limbo, trapped inside a triangle. I'm the Colosseum builder of my own angle. never entangling myself within the affairs of the world. Like a good soldier, I studied the art of war so I could be a man of peace, a shepherd upon a rock, calling to the flock. As my words move throughout the herds. Never again will I be insecure, wearing a multicolored coat of success. I'm drawn like Joseph to the rhythm of the sketch. The big picture is an ideal in progress in the vineyards of manifestation. Prosperity is the laborer that keeps the small foxes from spoiling the vine. So a man thinks, so is he. I'm a big brother on the east side of who you wanna be. The weak and beggarly elements, the G-forces of gravity. Seek my bondage in the pit of self-centeredness, hated by the brothers of weakness. Bless those that curse you. It's just proof made evident. You're the shit. Pray for those that spitefully use you when they're tattered and bruised by the abuse of suddenly losing you. Lessons I learn, I translate into musical energy. I'm a crystal audio engine, enjoying my journey and creating my destination with the letter W. But yet I step into a sequence that is not without sin. The consequence is a newborn mixed down, breastfeeding on the BPM. Am I a hypocrite or a human reading the labels from the inner lining of my skin? A musician's note on the chords of the triumphant is what my little brother Ned Jackson wrote. I authorized his decree to live by the code of the word sound and speak into existence who he wants to be. The soul is a noise like buzz. Sound is freedom. Before I left the wound, I was already blessed with what is before it was. Everything decomposes is the inner course of every generation, overcome by the lusts of the concubines of the dust. The midwives of our lives break the water, frighten arrogance on the contractions of vanity, inducing labor in the diaries of the heart. Cause out of it flow the issues of life, poets publish like the press. It's a release when manifestations crack the shells on the crustaceans of stress. Aspects of life are no longer under restriction, giving way to contradiction. Like pushing lead in the early morning streets, I wonder how many targets I preyed upon. The spelling of their threats became dead. Wisdom is greater than any weapons of war. I'm a forensic artist, retracing the fragments of what I discharged, opening the doors of reality. The soul is a noise like buzz. Sound is freedom. Before I left the wound, I was already blessed with what is before it was. Did I improvise self-realization, moistening the decisions of my imagination without the cloudiness of hallucinogens? My mental mist is limitless, never in the haziness of limitations. 7 deadly sins, 3 are abominations. A lyricist is an idealist, obsessed with nouns. People, places, and things all become the past tense. In all thy getting, get understanding with intensity. At least you give your honor to others. In your years to the crew, and your labor becomes the inspiration of a stranger, and you mourn at the last when you're consumed. Everything decomposes is the inner course of every generation, overcome by the lusts of the concubines of the dust. I'm a forensic artist, retracing the fragments of what I discharged. The soul is a noise like buzz. Sound is freedom. Before I left the room, I was already blessed with what is before it was. I'm an eternal being in a short-term situation and ongoing evolution. The present, the future, and eternity are the only dimensions in space and time that matter. In the present we create, and in the future others hear us. And in eternity, our creation is how people will remember us. Trust. Yeah.